is the sound? How is the sound? Is the sound quality good? Is the music too loud? Let me know. What's up? What's up?
How you doing, man?
Bro, the music sounds a bit too much. Okay, music is down. Let me know if the music is good now. Yeah. Is the music good, guys, now? Yes, perfect. Oh, the mic has to go up. Okay, guys, can you hear me loud and clear now? Can you hear me now more loud? Is this good? Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, guys, what is up today? Mike, yeah, Mike is good now, right? Okay, great, guys, great. Glad to hear. Hope you guys are all doing well. So, good. Let's dive into the market, see what is going on. And as per usual, let's start off by analyzing what the dollar has been doing this morning. So, as we can see at the moment, the dollar has been tanking quite a bit this, what is it, few past hours, or the past few hours. We can currently see that the dollar is currently back in towards this 4-hour demand. For now, it seems as if we're going to be diving in towards this area of demand just a little bit deeper. I'm still keeping my eyes out for this area of demand over here, this blue zone. Yeah, essentially over here. So let's see, possibly take out these lows, take out liquidity underneath the lows before reversing back up higher potentially. Yeah, we just have to keep in mind at the moment that the 4-hour is still bearish. Bro, two voice, what do you mean, bro? Yeah, the 4-hour is still bearish, and the daily though, the daily is still bullish. So currently this is your swing low, this is your swing high, right? So we saw a very nice daily retracement. Let me just quickly put in the fib tool. So we can see that we had that perfect fib retracement on the daily. 618 got hit to absolute perfection, and since then, yeah, we've been moving up higher. But I am still keeping my eyes out because we could still see the dollar go a little bit lower. Just quickly drawing in, of course, this trend line for this beautiful channel slash wedge. We have, of course, a very clear 1, 2, and I'm keeping my eyes out for that fake out on the second low or a third touch of the lower trend line, guys. That's what I'm still keeping my eyes out for. However, we just have to keep in mind that the daily is still bullish, and the daily has already seen a 618 fib retracement. So there is no necessarily a need for us to make that lower retracement, guys. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, let me know in the chat what pairs you want me to analyze for you today, so we can just dive into those. In the meantime, I'll just keep on going through Aussie dollar and the usual pairs which we analyze each morning, of course. So over here we have Aussie dollar, and what has Aussie dollar been doing this morning? Well, not that much, as we can see. We can see that we're currently inside this area of demand, right? This 4-hour demand. Show us your MyFX book. I'll show you my FX book, don't worry. I'll expose myself to you guys, don't worry. GJ, GU, USD yen, gold. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's just start off by analyzing what you guys want. So let's have a look at dollar yen first. So dollar yen is currently located inside some demand over here on the 4-hour time frame. We can clearly see, of course, that we have this 4-hour buying zone over here, from where we're currently seeing some bullish reaction and some bullish intentions. Price is currently just stalling inside of here. Quickly diving in towards the 1-hour, we can clearly see that we dived in towards this lowest area of demand, which essentially took out this, let's say, mini downtrend over here. So we could see a reversal from here, but for now, what dollar yen has to do is gain this high over here, because once this high is gained, the 1 hour, for instance, will start flipping bullish, and we can then start looking for those longs on dollar yen. For now, we're still in a bearish trend over here, just a little bit too bearish for my liking to look for longs at the moment. Quickly diving in towards the daily. Daily is still bullish, and we tapped in towards this beautiful area of daily demand over here. So yeah, let's see what happens over here. Yeah, we essentially have daily demand, we have 4 hour demand, so there is a lot of signs that we could start moving up higher on dollar yen. However, we do need to see those lower time frame bullish intentions before diving in towards a trade on this pair. So let's have a look at GJ, because GJ has been tanking hard, guys. GJ has been tanking really hard. I was in a beautiful short at the beginning of the week, not gonna lie, should have held it on for longer, but as we can currently see, dollar or pound yen, excuse me, pound yen is currently inside this area of, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen, inside this area of consolidation slash demand. So we could start seeing a pullback, because over here we had a 4 hour break of structure. And what do we expect after a break of structure, guys? After a break of structure, we expect a pullback, right? Because the market will never just start tanking down lower, lower, lower without ever pulling back. No, we're going to see breaks of structure, and after a break of structure, we expect a pullback, because on that pullback is where we're going to be able to enter the market. So at the moment, what we can see is that we saw a break of structure over here on this black level of 155.461. After that, we've never really seen a pullback happen, right? So I'm currently still waiting for a pullback. Where is a pullback likely going to be happening from an area of demand within the market? So at the moment, what we can clearly see is that we have this 4 hour area of demand located over here, and that is currently what we're reacting bullish to. If we then dive in towards the daily, we can clearly see, and this is absolute beautiful, on the daily we also have demand over here. Why is this demand? Anybody know? Just ask yourself that specific question. Well, it is because of the fact that over here we have a daily sell zone. So look, over here you can clearly see that we had this daily sell zone, right? So we come in towards that daily sell zone and we see a slowdown in the market. However, after that slowdown happened, what happened? We didn't start pushing back down lower again. No, we broke the zone. So what area of demand within the market was responsible for us breaking that area of supply? That was this area of demand. So that's why I'm expecting some kind of bullish reaction. Then diving in towards the 4 hour, we can see that we have a stacked 4 hour zone together with a daily zone. So from here, we now can expect a potential pullback from pound yen in towards, excuse me, let's say this zone of supply over here. So for pound yen, essentially what I'm kind of going to be focusing on is this area of supply within the market at around, what is it, 155.465 and 155.791. Yeah, that's GJ for me. Let's have a look at gold, guys. Gold. Yeah, so gold has been moving pretty interesting this morning. What we can clearly see on gold at the moment is that we've been, yeah, let's say pushing down from this area of supply within the market on the daily, right? I don't really like the daily on gold, to be honest. Yeah, what we can clearly see is that we have kind of this trend line which has been pushing price down lower. But I don't really like, using trend line confluence. I mainly focus on market structure and supply and demand. So market structure on the daily is really, really ugly. GGPM, yeah, man. I got that fresh haircut yesterday. Thanks, bro, for noticing. Much love. Means a lot. Was waiting for a comment. Really means a lot, bro. Yeah, so we got some daily supply over here. Then looking at the 4 hour, what you can clearly see on the 4 hours as well, kind of like some consolidation going on over there, which caused price to push down. I was being quite hesitant because what you'll often see on gold is that when bullish momentum is really strong, it can just keep on going and going and going. So in this particular situation, I haven't really traded gold, but in my opinion, we should, still head down a little bit lower. However, 4 hour is bullish after breaking this high over here. This is your current swing low at 1782. So what I'm currently kind of looking at is, let's say, a potential pullback, just a little bit lower still. But look, this is your area of consolidation. which caused a push up. So what you can expect now is that this to be demand. Thanks, bro. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thanks for the nice haircut comment. Means a lot. But yeah, essentially I would still like to see a pullback in towards this zone over here for, let's say, a real reversal to happen, because I don't really like it when you see reversals happen from clean moves in the market. Essentially this area of 4-hour supply caused the push down. So now looking at the 1 hour, what can we see? Look, boom, this is supply. So we're currently reacting to that supply because this supply took out these lows. So gold could start moving down lower from this area of supply within the market, back down in towards that 4-hour zone at around 1825. Yeah, 1825. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm focusing on for gold, guys. In the meantime, don't forget to leave a like on today's stream. It means the world to me if you guys could just leave a quick like, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We're getting to 10k subscribers this year, guys, 100%, or at least let's say this quarter. That's what we're going for. But that's essentially what I'm looking at on gold. Could start moving down lower. However, I am keeping in mind that there are a lot of bullish intentions on gold, and we could just keep on going higher. But there is, let's say, a setup over here, which I just pointed out from this 1 hour area of supply within the market, and I would still prefer to see gold push down lower in towards these 4-hour wicks over here, which are lower time frame areas of supply as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the focus for gold. So yeah, with that said, let's have a look at the next pair, which was requested, and that is Pound Aussie, Gido NL. Pound Aussie is an ugly pair, I can already tell you that. But Pound Aussie is looking good for a pullback. So we saw a 4-hour break of structure over here on this high. It is looking good for some further downside, to be honest. We saw kind of like this internal break of structure over here, or let me see. Wait, no. We're now bearish on the 4-hour. My apologies, guys. So look, let me point this out for you. This was the 4-hour high. So once this high over here got broken, as we can see over here, we started pulling back, right? So what happened then, this is essentially your pullback. This becomes your low. Over here we have a high break, but then what happened down below over here, we saw a 4-hour break of structure once again. So what does that mean to the market? Let me just put my dots. That means the market is now bearish on GA on the 4-hour. Beautiful pullback in towards this area of supply. These kind of basing candles over here. So yeah, it is looking good for further downside. Pound Aussie, right, guys? Yeah, Pound Aussie is looking good for some further downside, in my opinion. I'm kind of looking at this area on the 4-hour, this 4-hour buy zone over here. Looking for a push in towards there. That's for me the focus currently on Pound Aussie. Let's have a look at Pound Dollar. Pound Dollar. So yeah, Pound Dollar, guys, not gonna lie, have been calling this kind of short already since the top has been moving down beautifully. If you watch my YouTube videos every single morning, as you hopefully all do, you'll recognize what we're currently seeing in the market. At the moment, however, we are in a critical area of the market. Yeah, Mellow Journey, yeah, definitely. So we have to be very safe over here. So why do we have to be safe in this specific region of the market? Look, this area is supply, yeah? So this supply got taken out. So what took that area of supply out? This area of demand. This bearish candle over here from where we saw that big thrust in towards the highs. So now what you can clearly see is that we're pretty much stuck inside this fresh area of demand over here. So we saw that initial reaction, right? That's why we saw the initial reaction, because this area of demand took out this area of supply, okay? So then what happens? This demand zone takes out this supply. We pull back in towards that demand zone, see a bullish reaction. However, the 4-hour may be bullish and we may be inside 4-hour demand. We have to always look at the higher time frame intentions, because the higher time frame is always going to be, or taking precedence is always going to be more important than the lower time frame. So yeah, so we saw that reaction over here, boom, back up in towards 4-hour supply zones over here, as I mentioned on YouTube, and we're now deeper in towards that daily supply, or daily demand, excuse me. So now I'm pretty much just waiting for daily demand to get fully broken and to see a strong push in towards the downside. That's pretty much what I'm just hoping from pound dollar. I think most of the demand inside this zone is probably pretty much out of there. So yeah, is the sound good by the way, guys? Still, is not too is the music not too loud? Just let me know if it is. Thanks, What's Next Community, guys. If you don't know What's Next Community Global, follow them on YouTube. But in the meantime, let's have a look at our next pair. So Euro Yen. Yeah, so Euro Yen, guys. Euro Yen has been moving very interesting as well. Euro Yen is currently bearish, still in a bearish order flow, as we can clearly see. I got market structure mapped out completely for you guys, so you can just copy this onto your own chart. What we can clearly see on Euro Yen is that Euro Yen from a daily perspective is bearish, right? So looking at the daily over here, we can clearly see those bearish intentions from the daily. Move down beautifully from, let's say, the 618. Right, so from the 618 we saw a push in towards the downside. So yeah, what have we been seeing? Well, if we look back at the 4 hour real quick, the 4 hour has clear bearish intentions, right? We've been breaking the lows each time after one another. So at the moment, what is kind of like the main area of interest for us? So we took out this low, liquidated stop losses underneath there. Then where did we reverse from? From this area of demand, which essentially took out this area of supply. So this was supply over here. Why was this supply? It took out essentially this low on the 4 hour. Yeah, and then this demand zone took out this supply zone. So this is then your area of interest. So what did we see? We saw a beautiful pullback starting to happen after liquidation and a tap in towards demand. So currently I'm waiting for a push up higher on Euro Yen before potential further shorts back down in towards the downside. That's pretty much it from what is it called? From Euro Yen. Yeah, Euro Yen. So let's see what is next. Dollar CAD and Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, guys. Yeah, Bitcoin is. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Bitcoin is dying. Bitcoin is going to zero. Bitcoin is going to zero, guys. No, joking. Bitcoin is still bullish. Don't worry about it. If your portfolio is in the red, mine is as well. Happens. It is what it is. But we have to stay calm. We have to stay collective, and we have to stay together, guys. Because we're all crying internally. So let's just cry together on the stream. Yeah. So what's happening at the moment? So we still have this area of demand. This area of demand is looking weak, guys. Not gonna lie. I do think this area of demand is gonna break. I personally am looking at this weekly area of demand over here. Kind of our last hope if I look at the daily and the weekly. So look, we're inside this daily area of demand, which is stacked with a weekly area of demand. We could take stops below this low and then kind of see a liquidity spike and then kind of reverse. However, is it likely? Not necessarily. What I'm kind of focusing on for now is, let's say, this area of demand over here. You could also adjust it to 2 candles. Pretty much, what is it? It is 35,258. That is pretty much what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. If we see a retracement into there, we really need to start moving up from there. Yeah, because this low over here needs to be sustained at 28.6. If we lose that low, personally, Bitcoin is gonna be a little bit screwed, in my personal opinion. Then I'll definitely be looking at some real lower levels, sub 20k. But yeah, as long as we remain above 28.6, we're fully good. We could even see a spike below 28.6, grab liquidity. As long as we do not see a weekly close below that low, then we're all fine. So yeah, in the meantime, what other pairs are we interested in, guys? So yeah, this is by the way, just Bitcoin chart for me personally. Yeah, just you can feel free to copy it. If you have any other questions about Bitcoin, just let me know. Looking at altcoins, yeah, guys, I'm definitely dollar cost averaging on XRP a lot. Other pairs that I'm looking at are Luna, Rune, If you want some Bitcoin or altcoin advice, check out What's Next Community Global. They have a channel, What's Next Global. If you're watching this, guys, make sure to post a comment with your channel. Yeah, they're real good. And they do some Bitcoin analysis and altcoin analysis every single day and give you guys some good tips. But in the meantime, what other pairs are we looking at? So, Euro GBP, we have Euro NZD, we have Dollar Swiss. Let's have a look at Euro Kiwi. Yo, Stephen, how are you, man? Yeah, Hashim will also look at GN. So yeah, look, at the moment, Euro Kiwi. So Euro Kiwi is still bearish on the daily. Of course, Stephen, love doing it always, man. This high needs to be sustained. If we take out this high, Euro Kiwi is gonna flip bullish on the daily. In the meantime, looking at the 4 hour, yeah, we're kind of like in this extreme area of supply over here on the 4 hour. This is kind of our last area of resistance. That is what needs to push price down. Essentially, the 4 hour is bullish. I think that's why your short probably didn't work out, GGPM. I don't know what your real name is, bro, but look, this high got taken out essentially over here. Oh yeah, it wasn't bullish, it was still bearish, but essentially shorting from here was just super risky because of the fact that you're just consolidating. So it's just a very rangy pair overall, Euro NZD. So that's kind of the main problem for me when trading Euro NZD. It's just super choppy and anything can essentially happen. So I personally prefer not to trade it. I tend to focus more on those dollar pairs purely just because my win rate is higher and they're more predictable in my opinion. But yeah, kind of Euro Kiwi is at max, the max pain, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that is Euro Kiwi. Yeah, that's we're gonna have an education video tomorrow. Kim, the powerful young 100%, bro. Yeah, Euro GBP in the meantime as well. Yeah, Euro GBP has been moving pretty logically. If we look at this clear daily bearish order flow, however, in daily extreme demand, yeah, I am looking for a pullback on Euro Pound, guys. To be honest, I think Euro Pound could start pulling back up higher, especially if we look at this daily. What I'm kind of focusing on at the moment is this area of daily demand over here. Supply, daily supply. This is the daily supply zone that I'm focusing on at the moment. Pretty much 0.84934 is what I'm looking at, guys, for a pullback. CAD yen short from supply Faco FX, my friend. Give him a follow, guys, if you're Dutch. Yeah, CAD yen is moving down beautifully from this area of daily supply. Yeah, daily is still bullish. We have to keep that in mind, though. We're bullish from this swing low towards this swing high. So yeah, we just keep in mind that, okay, we can short from here, because if we just look at this from a premium versus discount perspective, look, we're inside premium, so we're inside good selling value essentially. So yeah, we're inside good selling value essentially. So let's see. But yeah, 4 hours is very messy at the moment. Let's see if we can break out of this kind of like range over here. Dollar Swiss. Yeah, so Dollar Swiss is tanking at the moment. I was looking for longs. I did share a long this morning, not gonna lie. Yeah, I was expecting at least a fake out on this low to kind of like see Dollar Swiss push up higher again. Still in a long, not looking fantastic at the moment, but what I was personally looking for was a pullback on this 4 hour, at least in towards these wicks over here, which are supply. As we can see, we're kind of reacting to nothing. We're reacting to support and resistance. So yeah, for me, like, I still think Dollar Swiss is going to move up higher one more time, but it seems that the Swiss is just super strong due to fundamentals at the moment, in regards to the current situation, of course, in Ukraine and Russia. This is causing, in my opinion, a risk-off sentiment. What we're seeing at the moment is a very strong Swiss, I think, over all pairs. Right, CAD Swiss is tanking, so that means that Swiss is very strong at the moment. Aussie Swiss is tanking as well. Yeah, so look, Swiss is just strong all over the board, essentially because of the fact of the situation in Ukraine. So the big institutions are looking for risk-off positions. That's why I'm also kind of not really into selling gold at the moment, because of the fact that these risk off pairs are doing pretty well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about at the moment. Kiwi Swiss is also dying, so yeah, you can just clearly see if you look at every Swiss pair, all Swiss pairs are just super strong, due to the fact that, yeah, the world situation at the moment. Pound dollar. Let's have a look at pound dollar. Yeah, pound dollar is in a daily area of demand, which could cause a pullback. Looking at the 4 hour could definitely start seeing a pullback. I don't really like 4 hour structure on pound dollar, purely because of this messy price action over here. But we have now broken this low, and this for me is a pretty important low. So for me, let's say we do start seeing a pullback, and quickly drawing in my 4 hour breaker structure tool. Oh, we haven't had a close below it, so it still remains valid. Pound dollar is still bullish on the 4 hour. Once we break this low, I'll be more convinced of those shorts. I still would like to see it close below this low, then a pullback in towards, let's say, supply for further shorts downwards. So yeah. Can you explain the short we took on Aussie yesterday? Which short are you talking about, bro? Sidebar, but Fabio, I love your chair, my guy. Andrew, thank you, bro. It's not my chair, it's of a friend of mine, but thanks. Yeah, it's very strong Swiss is what we're seeing. Yeah, the premium versus discount tool is really valuable. By the way, guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, make sure to give me a follow at TTA Capital on Instagram. Appreciate the love if you follow. Don't forget to leave a like on today's stream, by the way. Yeah, so silver has been flying in towards the highs, guys. Why has silver been flying? Silver is a safe haven, right? What do we buy when the world is in crisis? We buy silver, we buy gold, and that's why we're just strong on these pairs. So quickly diving in towards silver on what is it, weekly. Weekly is absolutely hideous, to be honest. Silver is pretty much a stable coin, in some way. Like, it's not very interesting as opposed to, in my opinion, gold. Well, at least silver and gold do kind of move in the same fashion, but silver has been so boring for the past weeks. We're just consolidating in between these lows and these highs. So essentially, if you want to buy some silver for your wife or your girlfriend, now is the time, because we are in lower regions of this range. So if you want to get married now, because once we get here, that ring is going to be a lot more expensive. But yeah, looking at this weekly time frame, I expect us to start running this high. So we're currently kind of like in this supply, this buy before the sell. This bullish candle over here is supply, but it hasn't taken out these lows, so it's not a strong area of supply. So I expect it to get run. This becomes demand, then see a pullback in towards demand, and then further upside continuation. That's pretty much what I want to see. I think we're soon going to see kind of like 27 level in the near future. Looking at the daily, yeah. So look, this is daily demand over here. This was daily demand. This sell candle, why it caused this trend to break, push up, push down, and now we're essentially expecting the push up again. So once we break this high, we'll create demand over here, wait for that pullback, then wait for further prices. That's pretty much what I'm waiting for. I wouldn't trade, what's it called, silver at the moment, to be honest. So yeah, that is silver. Any other pairs on request, guys? Pop them in now, because yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, pound kiwi. Yeah, so pound kiwi. Looking at the weekly, we're in supply. I know a lot of people are looking for shorts on this pair by coincidence. So we're in this area of weekly supply. Why is this weekly supply? It took out this trend line. It took out this trend, so that's why it's weekly supply. As we can clearly see, like in the past, we came in towards weekly supply, saw price tank down lower. However, keep in mind, the more times you tap in towards an area of supply or demand, the weaker that area gets. So I wouldn't be surprised if we still take out 2.02715, because what you'll most of the time see, that kind of like the second time you come in towards an area of supply or demand, the second time you come in towards supply demand, the higher you'll probably go, the lower you'll probably go. So if this is, let's say, an area of supply, boom, like you tap into it once, the second time you're more likely to tap deeper into it. So that's why I'm still kind of looking at this high over here from a weekly perspective. Then diving in towards the daily, we also have daily supply over here. Yeah. And we had daily supply over here. This daily supply has been taken out, and as you can see, like first time hard reaction, second time we break it. That's what I mean with like it gets less. How do you turn up the volume on this thing? Here, right?
Gewoon bij daar rechts, man, bij de OBS. Bij OBS rechts kan je.
Hier? Oh ja, nee, hij staat al vol.
Oh. Nee, man, dat kan niet.
Okay. Sorry, Kim Jong-un. We're not allowed, and we're not possible to put up the volume a bit. I just asked my sound man,
Sound engineer.
sound engineer. No jokes. But yeah, looking at Kiwi, pound Kiwi, guys, I think we're gonna gain this high over here. Why? Well, there's a lot of liquidity above this high. This high is exactly below this area of supply. So for me, it's more logical that pound Kiwi will still head up higher before tanking down lower. That is my my analysis on pound Kiwi. Hope you can find some value in that and you understand kind of my thought process. This is also stacked with weekly, and from there it does look good. Yeah, so you can see clearly from there it does look good for shorts from that, because then you have stacked daily with weekly, then we take out this weekly high. That holds my preference personally. GJ, yeah, I think GJ could go down lower. But yeah, I mean, just keep in mind, like 4 hours bearish. So until we take up this high, like 156.911 is still kind of like strong and holding price down. So once you take out this high, then I think we'll start running the high, because the daily is essentially still bullish, swing structure wise. Yeah, so just keep that in mind when looking at pound yen. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD is looking good for a push up higher still, in my opinion. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we still see a push up higher on dollar CAD in towards this supply zone at least. That's pretty much what I'm thinking. And then, for instance, look for shorts again, and then take out liquidity below the trend line. That's my thought process on dollar CAD. Yeah, I like that short, Andrew. I mean, yen is strong fundamentally, so we could just run this area of demand simply and start moving in towards, let's say, this area of demand. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, with that strong yen, strong Swiss, strong dollar, that is definitely a possibility. So yeah. Any other question, guys? Yeah, Dan, let's have a look at gold real quick. Yeah, so yeah, looking at gold, I mean, 4 hours bullish. There's a lot of momentum because of the political situation in the world. Gold is also bullish in my opinion for now. Doesn't seem like we're really reacting. Let's see, 15 minute. Yeah, so this is kind of like your 15-minute supply zone. So let's see if we can break that. If we're like, if we still see a reaction to this, like we could start selling off from here. But just keep in mind, like if we start running this high, those shorts are going to become less probable. But we're currently in 1 hour supply, some 4 hour supply as well, and 15-minute supply. So if gold wants to drop, it has to happen from here, to be honest. But yeah, 4 hours bullish. 4 hours bullish. daily. The daily is looking kind of bullish as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we start taking out liquidity above this trend line. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like daily structure though in gold, and it's also not a pair that I trade very often. But yeah, I mean, we could still see a reaction from current prices where we are. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I would prefer still a pullback on gold in towards this zone over here, and then look for those longs. However, we haven't seen that. We've pretty much just tapped into, I think this is a weekly. Oh no, it's not that time yet. But looking at this daily, like, or the 4 hours more clear, like, you can see this area of consolidation, the market moves out, comes back in, and then moves out again. So we kind of briefly skimmed the top of that area of consolidation, and that could cause price to push up. So I don't really like shorting against the 4 hour, especially if gold is this bullish. So yeah, that's just what I'm keeping in mind. 1814, yeah, 1814, there is some demand over here. Yeah, that could still get met, but I'm just keeping this zone kind of into consideration. But I mean, it all depends on what the lower time frame price action does when we come in towards these zones, right? If you then see the 15-minute flip bullish or bearish, then you'll just know what to do once price comes in towards that zone. But for now, like, I'm not personally shorting gold. It's just too high risk for me. It's just not my risk appetite. So that's just what I'm keeping in mind when looking at gold. Yeah, Euro Swiss. So Euro Swiss is like so hideous. If I can give you one piece of advice, just don't trade Euro Swiss. But yeah, I mean, you got kind of some demand over here. That's why we also reacted to it initially, but we're just super deep in this demand zone already. Overall trend on Euro Swiss is just obviously down. 4 hour is hideous as well. No real clear bullish intentions for me, in the sense that there's no real clear area of demand. Of course, like, this is support, and of course we'll see some reaction, but Euro Swiss on the higher time frame is too bearish for me to kind of look for any buys at all. So I would personally just wait for shorts on this pair to happen. So break structure over here, and then wait for a pullback into, let's say, this demand or this supply or this supply zone. So yeah, guys, let me do the last pair. If there are any more requests, let me know. We can analyze it now. And otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it for today once again for our New York live stream. Any other questions, ask them as well, can be trading related whatsoever. Yo Mike, how are you, mate? If you also have a song request, of course, also always allowed. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream, guys. We only have 42 likes, but 62 viewers. Come on. Would appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe. I want those 7K. At least I want 10K subscribers before the end of this quarter. I mean, if I meet a nice girl in life, I can tell her to have 10K subscribers, right? Sounds cool. For culture. But yeah, euro dollar. Okay, let's do euro dollar last of all, mellow journey. Yeah, I mean, euro dollar. So look, this is the situation on euro dollar, right? JPY NZD. I think you mean NZD JPY, did you? But yeah, I can do that one after euro dollar, and then we'll just call it a day. But looking at euro dollar, so euro dollar is bearish on the higher time frame, guys. Just keep that in mind. On the higher time frame, we are bearish on euro dollar. We've seen the 50% mark of the overall bearish range on the daily being mitigated or being hit, or whatever you want to call it. We had this area of supply. As we can see, we spiked above it. So took at the highs over here, grabbed liquidity. Personally, I think euro dollar is still ready to kind of start moving down lower. We just have to keep in mind that the 4 hour is still bullish though. However, the 4 hour had an area of demand over here, right? So this area of 4 hour demand got broken because we didn't really see any, let's say, valid reaction to it. We just kind of chopped away. So then we started pushing down lower, broke this low over here. But this is just an internal low. So this area of supply, which I currently drew out, is also internal supply. It's not really strong supply, let me put it that way. It would have been much stronger if it, let's say, took out the swing low over here. But the problem currently with euro dollar is that all price action over here is just so messy, and often what you'll see in the market is that messy price action results in messy price action. If we have, let's say, a clean move over here, like right, then you'll see big moves as well in the market. Then you come in towards consolidation, that results in consolidation. So now what you can see over here is we have consolidation, so that's likely also going to result in consolidation over here. That's why I'm not really keen on trading euro dollar, but just keep in mind that the daily is bearish, and essentially this demand zone got taken out by this supply zone. Then if we look inside, let's say this price action over here, you had some demand over here, but this demand zone, yeah, I wouldn't say this is real demand. You had demand over here that got taken out by this wick over here. Some over here you also had some demand, but that's also not fresh. So there's not any area of fresh demand at all on euro dollar at the moment. So that's kind of why I am still of the opinion that we could still see euro dollar roll over towards the downside in line with that higher time frame trend. So yeah, let's do Kiwi Yen as last. Thanks, Andrew, really appreciate it, bro. Means a lot. Yeah, so looking at Kiwi Yen overall, so Kiwi Yen is bearish on what is it, on the higher time frame, on the daily. So what we're essentially expecting is that, as we can clearly see, we hit the 50% mark of the range to absolute perfection, have been tanking ever since. So this is a weak low, this is a strong high. Why is this a strong high? It took out this low, this strong low. So once a high takes out a strong low, it becomes a strong high. So this is a strong high, and this is now your weak low. Why is this a weak low? Because you expect it to get run, right, in line with the trend. So this is a weak low, and you expect this to be a strong high. So if this high can take out this low, this is your strong high, and then we can look for new shorts once we see that break of structure happen on this low. So that's currently what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a break of structure and then pull back further short. We do have some demand over here, which could cause price to pull back. Just keep that in mind when viewing this chart. Diving in towards the 4 hour though, there's no real clear area of 4 hour demand in my opinion over here. But yeah, I mean, we've seen quite the move down, so that is why we could also start seeing a pullback very soon from this area of daily demand. Just keep that in mind when trading Kiwi Yen. So yeah, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate all of you taking the time to join this stream as per usual. We'll be back on Monday with another New York live stream at 2:15 Central Eastern Time. So make sure to put it in your agenda, notebook, or write it on your forehead so you don't forget when you look in the mirror in the morning. But yeah, thank you so much for joining and tuning in, guys. It means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a like. Thank you, Faco, for making the stream possible. Give him a follow, guys. And yeah, thanks once again for joining in. Have a nice day.